Hi, my name is Michelle Borland, and today we're going to learn about the Minnesota-based Native Americans and their contributions in ecology. So today we're going to learn about, first of all, what is ecology, who are the Minnesota-based Native Americans, different ways Native Americans helped our ecology, and how Minnesota ranks in the nation for greenest states. First of all, does anybody know who are the Minnesota-based Native Americans? There are two main Native American tribes in Minnesota with 11 reservations. Up in the north towards Canada, they are Anishinaabes, or Ojibwe, and Chippewa. In what was now central and western parts of Minnesota are the Dakota tribes, also known as the Sioux, with 4 reservations here. So ecology. What is ecology? First of all, it is the scientific analysis and study of interactions among organisms and their environment. Or more clearly, just how animals, people, and the nature all interact to make up the environment as pictured here. The Native Americans' beliefs on ecology always revolved around nature and their relationship with nature. As in their religion, they regarded nature as sacred. Basically, an injury to one was an injury to all. This was my favorite quote that I found on the Native American proverb. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. And it really shows how they took care of the earth and the environment, not only for them, but for future generations. Traditional spirituality and practices are integrated into everything the Native American does and into their culture. Everything they do is about us and we, not about I and me. So I think that's a great quote. The Native Americans have contributed a lot to the settlers that came to Minnesota. As you know, we're a big corn state. There are 6 species of maize or corn, 150 varieties on American tables today, along with 5 major kinds of beans. And then they developed ways to grow hundreds of different types of vegetables and fruits, such as potatoes, squash, pumpkins, tomatoes, peppers, peanuts, chocolate, vanilla, sunflowers, and avocado. In Minnesota specifically, we have the wild rice was introduced to us by the Native Americans, and each year when the Native Americans were getting the rice, collecting the rice, they would always leave some in the earth for next year. I thought that was a pretty cool way that they're always looking forward into the future generations. And with maple syrup, they taught a lot of the settlers how to tap trees, and I know that is a big thing in Minnesota for families to go out and tap trees and get their own maple syrup each year with the different parks around Minnesota. Water. The Minnesota Native Americans have contributed to Minnesota's economy through fishing. Even though they say they don't, their culture does not do hunting or fishing in order to make money. They never catch more than they need to survive. However, they did teach the Minnesotans, with all our over 5,000 lakes and over 18,000 rivers and streams, Minnesota ranks second only to Alaska in those who participate in fishing. So with that, there are 1.4 million licenses, fishing licenses, and in turn, there are many jobs for Minnesotans as well as the Native Americans. The land. As we said earlier, they were one with the land, and there is 1.1 million acres in Minnesota where people can hunt and where wildlife lives. There's over 100 game species. And one thing that the Indians taught Minnesotans to do is that they would periodically actually burn areas so that new growth would come in. And they always looked at it if they could burn different areas down and create bigger meadows for animals to come and graze in, that would equal more food for humans. But again, they did not do this for money or to make money or the economy. They did this to survive and used every part of the animal. So how does this affect Minnesota today? We actually rank pretty well as the greenest states, one of the greenest states in our nation. This is from the DNR. We are tied for first for the highest soil quality. We are third in the highest water quality. And for overall energy saving practices and natural resources used for energy, we rank 7th overall as one of the greenest states in the nation. You can see on the map over here, we are pretty green compared to other states around us. What can you do? Well, after learning of the Native Americans and their belief in ecology, what can you do to imitate that thought? Today I want each of you to write a paragraph, just a brief paragraph of something you do or can do. We are also going to each plant a seed that we'll keep in the classroom here. So planting something at home would be an idea. Going fishing, catching only what you need and to eat it. Recycling, picking up trash in your neighborhood, not wasting water at home, in the shower, brushing your teeth. There are many other ways that you can help the ecology of Minnesota, and I'd like to hear about that. So if you can do that, and then later on tomorrow we will have a short assessment of today's lesson. Thank you.